Outlaw Law is brought to you by Whitaker and Hamer, attorneys and counselors at law. Your law firm for life.
Welcome back into the Outlaw Lawyer's final segment. Josh Whitaker and Joe Hamer, managing partners at Whitaker and Hamer Law Firm, are your hosts. Offices in Raleigh, Garner, Clayton, Goldsboro, Fuquay, Varina, Gastonia, and now in Morehead City. In studio with us today, Cassandra Nicholas and Taylor Scruggs-Smith, also attorneys at Whitaker and Hamer, having a little fun with a life hack list. Situations where you need a lawyer and some where you don't. And we've got time for maybe some wrap-up comments.
Well, we've worked our way to number 9 on this list, and number 9 is business startups. I think that's definitely we do a lot of that at the law firm. That is definitely a place where you need some advice. A lot of different options when you start up a business. You know, if you have partners, you're going to need agreements between the partners. You need to talk about who's putting in what. How you're going to divvy up assets. Is somebody loaning money to the business? How should you operate, liability shields, there's tons of stuff to talk about for a business startup. Even if you're going as a sole proprietorship, which we hardly ever recommend in a consult, but still things to ask an attorney. And again, paying for an hour of an attorney's time. I would even say I'm not a CPA, but paying for an hour of a CPA's time once you get started, because there's a lot of mistakes everybody makes when they start out because they just don't know any better. And with a very minimal amount of attorney's fees, very minimal amount of CPA fees, you can avoid some very common mistakes that we just see happen over and over and over again.
I agree. Get an attorney.
Get an attorney.
I concur.
As a man who has started a couple of businesses over
Just a couple
over his life, there's a lot of mistakes that I figured out along the way that probably somebody who knew what they were doing for a reasonable amount of money could have told me to avoid a long time ago. But business startups, number 9, definitely talk to an attorney. What's number 10 on this list, Taylor?
So it looks like denial of workman's comp or a disability claim, and I think that kind of goes into that wrongful termination or discrimination that we were talking about earlier. Those are more than likely some federal or high-level state laws that are very hard to navigate on your own. Just have an attorney.
Yeah. I have done a pro bono VA disability claim, and these types of claims, they're looking for a reason to throw it out on technicalities. You need to follow their exact instructions. So it's better just to get the attorney, because a lot of those claims are about persistence, following rules and persistence until you get to that finish line of winning the claim.
Yeah, procedure is very important. Procedure is very important in a lot of legal arenas, and not following it, not being aware of even the most minute detail will derail or at least delay your claim. So that is a very important one where you want representation. A lot of that's taken on a contingency. So if you go meet with an attorney about something like that, a lot of times you're not paying anything up front. You're getting the benefit of their advice and experience for free. So anyway, I always want to do that. Number 11 here on our list, bankruptcy again.
Get an attorney. As an attorney, I'm telling you to get an attorney.
I would get an attorney.
I would get an attorney.
You want to talk about procedure and procedural hoops, man. That's tons of them.
Bankruptcy is one where you're in federal court, right? This is not there's no state bankruptcy. You're in federal district court for bankruptcy. And again, very procedure intensive. There are things that can be done in bankruptcy, things that can't be done in bankruptcy. You need to talk to an attorney. That's not something I was thinking as we were going through this list, I was thinking about all the attorneys. We have a lot of attorneys that work at our law firm, but our law firm also is represented by attorneys when the law firm needs attorneys, right? So we're attorneys. We're pretty knowledgeable of the law, and there's things that'll come up that we'll go hire an attorney to help us take care of, because it's just there's some things that are that complicated, that complex, where you just need an attorney. But that was the 11 things. This list was the 11 times you need an attorney, 3 times you don't. And I think we talked about all the don'ts, right?
I think the last one was just if you don't want to contest, but even if you don't want to contest, please just get an attorney, because you don't know what extra fees they're asking.
You don't know if you want to contest or not.
Yeah.
They could be asking for extra attorney fees or anything like that.
I think the main takeaway from this list is not to get your legal advice from Googling life hack lists. This is not good legal advice.
Yeah, none of these are really life hacks in any way.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
Some real life hacks.
All right, well, we are up against the break. Go watch Titanic. Don't stay up late looking at life hack lists, Josh. But anyway, we had a lot of fun today on the show. The Outlaw Lawyers, Josh Josh Whitaker and Joe Hamer, managing partners, Whitaker and Hamer Law Firm. Again, the power behind this program. And they are both practicing attorneys here in North Carolina. Cassandra Nicholas and Taylor Scruggs-Smith, also attorneys at Whitaker and Hamer. If you've got a legal situation and you've got questions, you can get answers by calling the firm, 800-659-1186. That's 800-659-1186. Leave your contact info, briefly what the call's about, and an attorney with Whitaker and Hamer will be in touch. You can always email the show, questions at theoutlawlawyer.com. Another great show in the books. We'll see you on the radio next week.